Hello, Radiant Spirits. It's Feather with Feather's Ancient Wisdom, here with your weekly reading for the week ahead of July 7th, 2024, using the Hush Tarot by Jeremy Hush. This one was gifted me by a beautiful friend, and I have not read with it before. It is very interesting. It uses the traditional tarot, but changes some of the suits around to be animals. And so I just kind of want to speak to those who are interested in tarot, who don't feel the confidence to read and move forward. Just want to let you know that it doesn't take anything special. You don't have to memorize the cards. You don't have to memorize the book. And you can really pick up any deck. And that's what I'm showing you here in my series. I have so many uh, tarot decks and oracle decks, and we're just kind of going to go one by one each week as we do a weekly reading, so you can see the cards and how they look and how they work, as well as get some tidbits of how to read tarot from me. Okay, so I'm going to do the Celtic cross, and what I'm doing is I'm just shuffling and I'm waiting for some cards to come out. Okay, so there we go. Now we had this stack fall out, and I use it. I use the stack, and I just use the card that is shown on the other side. So here we go. This is us in our current position. We're going to do the Celtic cross layout, and this is it's going to be a number and a suit. And so here we have the 7, and here we have the swords. Okay. Swords are all about our thoughts. It's our air sign. So that's the key. Like, if you can just tap into some of the basics as far as the 4 different suits, right? And how they, and what they stand for. So swords are all about mental. It's our mental state. And numbers, there's numerology, you can look into that as well. Or if you have correspondences to that, 7 maybe it's like the lucky number, right? Well, here's how I read tarot. I just go by the images, and what do they invoke? What does it say to me? How does it speak to me? I am seeing a little black bird carrying a nest of keys. Keys are wisdom, right? That's what I think of when I think of a key. I think of knowledge. And this is, again, pointing to an air sign. So this is all about our mental state and keeping our knowledge in our nest. So we're like hoarding our ideas, and we're keeping them close to us, and we're not really sharing them with anybody. It's like our wisdom, and we've like gatekeeped it and locked it up. So this is what it's saying for right now. Is that's the position that we're in. Is we're in a state where we're holding all of our wisdom close to us. We're keeping it safe. It's locked up with us in our home, in our little nest. Okay. Now, the goal is obviously to go through and share that knowledge or use that knowledge, and something is in the way, and it is the 3 of Cups. Cups are water, okay? And water signs are all about emotions. And here is this girl, and she's riding a goat with the bunny rabbit nearby. So, what does that speak to you? To me, this looks like she's riding a carousel horse. So, she's going around and round in circles. So, she's not really paying attention and not really moving forward on any path. She's kind of stuck in a circle, in a cyclical cycle of repeating the same mistakes and that kind of thing. And we've got a hare here. Rabbits are fast movement, right? She's looking down, and she's like, maybe I should get off of this merry-go-round here, because this goat to me kind of speaks, more of a darker goat that maybe is telling her, this, I'm not doing you any good. I'm not doing you any favors just riding me around and around. This is just for your amusement and your fun. and it's not really contributing to your growth in any way. And the rabbit's like, here, come follow me, kind of like Alice, right? There, she follows the rabbit down the rabbit hole. So she's looking at it like, maybe I should get off this ride. And that's what that's saying to us, is once we get off the ride and we start moving forward, then we can unlock all of that wisdom that we have within us, that we've been gatekeeping, holding it to ourselves, and we can open up ourselves to start sharing that with other people. Okay? Now, I said I was just going to go ahead and flip cards, and we're going to do that. Some of my other decks, I do just go straight to the top card. So we're going to see if we have any flyers, and if not, we will move back to just taking top cards. But here we go. Now, this part of the cross in the Celtic cross is all about us within ourselves. So this represents our consciousness, and up here is now our higher consciousness. And higher consciousness is the divinity, right? This is God source energy coming in and giving us a message, and it is one of justice. Okay, so whatever is going on, whatever this information that you have locked up, it may be part of something ongoing with another party in which you feel wronged. Okay. Now, whenever we feel that way, we obviously want justice. And sometimes when we want justice, we will take matters into our own hands and do certain things. So higher consciousness is coming in and giving us the justice card, saying, you don't have to worry about it. It's in our hands now. Okay. Spirit has your back. They will ensure that justice is given, but it will be in divine timing, and it will be in a way that is for the highest good of all involved. Okay? So this is a, whatever you feel like you've been wronged in whatever way, you can let that go and just know that it will be taken care of. You do not have to do anything. Okay? So whatever was on your mind regarding that, that's what higher consciousness has to say. All right, so now we're looking for lower consciousness, higher conscious sub. All right, let's see what our subconscious has got to say. This is the Page of Swords. Okay, so again, we're talking about our mental state. And wow, look what's going on here. So let me see if I can get this card to be a little bit more clear for you guys to see. So we kind of got this bull stick figure man, and he's got his hand on her shoulder, and she's moving. She looks like she's stopped for a moment, and she's grabbed his hand. She doesn't seem to be neither unhappy or happy. She's kind of like, right? Well, pages are all about kind of like naivete and newness. And for this being in the mental state, to me, what this is saying is that there is something on our mind, big and bullish, that's kind of like we feel is, um, you know, like the monkey on our back, so to speak. It's there hanging behind us, and as we move forward, we're always going to have this on our back and in the back of our mind, right? So hopefully this is pertaining to what higher consciousness is coming in and saying about justice, so that we can let this go. But right now we are carrying something with us, our baggage, so to speak, as well. And it's getting in the way of our thinking and our movement forward. Okay. So subconscious is telling you, let it go, let it go. Subconscious and higher conscious are coming in and saying, whatever it is, why you are gatekeeping this, why you're going around in circles and repeating the same patterns. Like, you don't have to do that anymore. And it's your choice. You're the one who is in charge of you. We have free will, right? So it is up to us to take responsibility for ourselves and move ourselves in a positive direction. So, time to let some stuff go and trust that the universe has our back. Now, we're going to move on the arms of the cross. And what we're doing here is in the past position. Okay. When we get the past card, it is something that has happened to us in the past. We have King of Swords. So we're still in this mental space. Okay. And the king is usually the master of it, right? So this is where we felt powerful. Look at this bird and how they're poised. It's like they're ready for defense, they are ready for offense. You know, you've got this skull here, so maybe they've picked this carcass apart and they've devoured it, right? And they came in at the right time. They're safe. There's no predators around right now. There's maybe some little moths or butterflies flying around. So to me, this speaks of a time where you felt mentally empowered and you felt like the top dog, like you had it under control. You knew what was going on and you felt kind of like in a, a state of empowerment. Like, as I'm speaking about this card, I'm sitting up straight and I'm feeling like I'm more in an authoritative, empowered position. So this is the past. This is not us right now. This is in the past. We're here. But there is a key from back in the past as to why this card is here and how we can get it to be righted. It kind of is the key, is the past. So you're going to be looking to the past and thinking about, when did you feel empowered? What were the surroundings around that? How is that different now from where you're at? Why are you now kind of gatekeeping and going around and making the same mistakes and the same choices and going in this like circular pattern right now? Like, you're not feeling that way. So what can you do now to bring out how you felt back then so that you can get off the merry-go-round? Okay? We're trying to get off the merry-go-round. Now, we're going to look at the future, and that will complete the cross. We'll have more cards, don't worry. There are 4 more cards in the Celtic cross position, but right now we're looking for the future. And the future came out as 10 of Cups. 10 cups. And we've got these 2 beautiful herons right here, or egrets or cranes. They're very similar, so forgive me if I have them wrong. However, these birds are known to be connected to our emotional state. When you see them in the wild, it's giving you that message of, how am I feeling right now? Take a look at within and how are you feeling. And when we are on one leg here, just like these birds, you're in balance. Their position, their neck is out here, their wing is out here, their foot, but they're balanced, okay? And they, again, tend kind of being like the completion of a cycle, like the end of the card deck. Before we get into court cards, the last number is 10. It's kind of like the completion. And it's where we really feel good about ourselves. When we are 10 of Cups, we are embodying these beautiful birds and how they're poised. It kind of, interesting enough, does harken back to the posture of the King of Swords. and how we felt back then about ourselves. Very empowered, very knowledgeable. But here it's different. It's more emotional. It's being in that emotional state where we feel happy and balanced and collected. And that is all coming to us in the future. And again, this is the weekly reading. So this is like where we're at the beginning of the week. And this is where we're headed. Okay. And in order to get there, we need to remember these things of letting this go, get this off of our back, trust the universe has it. Remember how we used to be empowered so we can get off of this merry-go-round and move into our beautiful 10 of Cups. Okay? So this is like all what's happening within us internally. Now we're going to move to 4 cards outside of this that completes the Celtic cross layout. And this has to do with outside influences. Okay? So we're going to make a little bit of room here and move some cards around. Somebody might want to come out and show themselves, but we'll see in a little bit. Just moving these cards over. Pardon the mess. We just go with it here. Put her there because we're going to unlock her, but that's kind of where she's at. All right, we're going to do 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see who comes out. Again, these are outside influences. So right now, we're looking for a friend and ally that's going to assist us this week. Ooh. All right. Our friend and ally this week is the 6 of Cups. And this is another 2 hairs. So here they've been trying to tell you, get off of this merry-go-round. So you might know who this is, who's been saying that to you, that you need to stop repeating your patterns and trust their advice. And I'm actually going to be pulling in a little bit of advice, a little bit of knowledge from another deck that I use. And as I understand, 6 of Cups as being kind of generosity. And so we have 2 hairs and there's 5 cups upright and 1 is down. But this is going to be somebody who is going to be looking at the cups that are up. So who's the person that is your cup half full person? That they're going to ignore the fact that there's this cup that's lying there. And they're going to really try and keep things positive and trying to give you good advice. And again, telling you to get off the merry-go-round and move in the direction that you've been wanting to move in. So this is somebody with sound advice. So who is that for you? It's going to be different for every person, but it's that person that is going to be uplifting, that's going to be positive, that it always has your back, is looking out for you even when they're telling you things you don't want to hear. It's because you really do need to hear it. So whoever that is for you, they're here to help you this week, and lean on them. Okay. Now we're going to be looking at what to look out for. Woo! Here we go. The Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant is, just to know what the Hierophant is in tarot, is like the teacher, a wise person, and somebody with a lot of knowledge. And here we have the keys again. Okay, going back to us here, blackbirds and keys. So very similar to where we are in our current state. So to me, this card is talking to us and is telling us what to look out for. And whenever I get the Hierophant in this position, I always go back to, well, the Hierophant is somebody with knowledge and wisdom, who teaches others. He's the teacher, right? Well, how is that a bad position to be in? What would be the warning there? Well, the warning would be that you think you know, but you don't really know. So this is like humble yourself a little bit, be open to learning. There's a plethora of information out there, a bunch of resources. Just make sure that you're fact checking yourself. Make sure that you know what you're talking about, and humble yourself when talking to others so that you don't come off as somebody who's the know it all. Nobody likes that. You don't like it. Nobody likes it. So don't be that person. So just remember to humble yourself, be open to knowledge that others bring you. I'm going back to this card because to me, this is also like open your ears. Their ears are so big, these hairs. Listen to what they have to say, because you think you know it all, but they have some really good wisdom to share for you. So be open to receive, okay? I'm kind of like putting them in weird positions here to get them to go around this deck in this setting, but usually they're straight, okay? Now, the next card, the third card outside of ourselves, is kind of actually ourselves. It's hopes and fears. It's kind of the which way will we choose? Which path will we choose? Because there are an infinite number of possibilities out there, parallel dimensions and realities. And so we kind of have two things that we really focus on: our hopes and our dreams and our fears. And then we're going to be picking our route. Okay. But for this one, this is the Two of Cups. And this is it's a really powerful card, this illustration. Um, these two beautiful winged goddesses, but they've got some fallen patrons next to them. Hmm. Wow. Because usually Two of Cups, again, I'm bringing in knowledge from other decks, is kind of like a soulmate card, right? And so the hope is that you find somebody that will go to hell and back with you, right? It kind of looks like these guys were at war. I don't know if that's a shield, maybe some weaponry over here looks like an actual sword. So, was there a battle and they died for these beautiful winged princesses? Um, and really that would be that would be amazing to find somebody that would do that for you, right? I'm thinking of Robin Hood, Prince Thieves. I would die for you. Wait, maybe that wasn't the Prince of Thieves thing. That was the comedy version. But you know what I'm talking about. The "I Will Die for You" by Bryan Adams song. Um, so yeah, kind of those vibes. But what's the fear factor there when you find somebody like that? Like, you have to put yourself on the line too, right? You have to be willing to die for them. You have to be by their side, fighting the battles with them. I'm getting the phrase "you and me against the world." And that's a scary position to put yourself in, and it's a vulnerable one. And not everybody is open and ready to be vulnerable. And so that's the fear factor in this card. That's the fear factor. But the hopes and the dreams are to find that person, right? That one. And this is this week. Wow. Let's see what our final outcome is, because this week is kind of deep. Really deep week. All right, final outcome. Final outcome for the week of July 7th, 2024. Please and thank you. We got three, but we're going to stick them together and go this way. And we have got Three of Pentacles. All right, we haven't had Pentacles so far. This has been a really emotional and mental week. We've been dealing with all of this stuff, but there are rewards coming at the end of this week. our final outcome is Three of Pentacles. Anytime you have Pentacles, it has to do with the world. It has to do with the earthly plane. It has to do with material objects. And, we always look at these as like coins, right? Money. Okay. Well, we've got these three cardinals here, and they're hanging out at this cup, right? Now, for them, the cup probably holds some food or water, but some kind of nourishment for them. And they're hanging out and they're kind of, I want to hope that they're talking to each other. They could be bickering. We don't know. It depends on your point of view. But we got this little one over here. So to me, this is kind of like uh, more of a gathering for food and drink. So could be a luncheon or brunch or dinner or an actual party, but it is the gathering of, I'm going to go with like-minded souls, because these all look like they're in the same family. They're the same species, of course. So either this is like a family meeting, or this is like soul tribe meeting, getting together with your soul family and coming to discuss. So for the end of this week, we've got ourselves in a position. Let's go through this again, right? So she wants to come through. We're going to look at her. Page of Swords. Wow. She's kind of like she's kind of like this goddesses over here. So she's got the wings, she's got the feet, but she's got the head and the torso and the jewelry of a human. So she's kind of like stuck in between the worlds to me. And pages are newness, and so kind of like afraid to step out, maybe not trusting their mental state of like their ideas, and a little bit fearful. She is hiding in the back here. So, these are all the kind of things that you can look at when you're doing a reading, is like, oh, the position of the card. She kept poking out, if you saw throughout the whole reading. She wanted to be seen. So we're looking at her. We're taking her into account. Okay. It doesn't mean I'm going to take the entire stack, but you can if you feel like it. If you feel called to, do what feels good to you. But she wanted to come out. So I almost feel like there's like a fear factor of sharing yourself and being true to yourself and letting other people see you. She's kind of masked between both worlds, both human and animal. She's like, I can be either way, but I don't really want to show you the true me. So I'm going to show you this side, or I'm going to show you that side. So we're kind of like right now, not being 100% true to ourselves around other people. Okay. So she's urging us to do that. Be authentically ourselves to others, and share our ideas instead of just gatekeeping them and keeping them all to ourselves, because what good are ideas if nobody hears them? And then we're going to get to her in a minute. We're going to listen to our subconscious and our higher consciousness and let some of this baggage go, because we're going to trust that the universe is taking care of it for us, so we can get that off of our backs and we can let that go. Whatever that is for you, let it go. And then here, we're going to embody our past self with how we were so authentically ourselves and empowered, and in felt like we had it together. We were wise, we were knowledgeable, we were in a position of authority in the past, and coming to us in the future, we're going to also be kind of embodying that. That's the key to get to the future, so we can get off of this, cycle that we're in, and move forward in the direction that we're meant to go. and live our beautiful emotional fulfillment in the future. And we're going to also do that by listening to our trusted advisors and our friends that keep things positive and keep things real. We are going to humble ourselves and admit that we don't know everything. We're going to be open to receive new information. And we should set aside our fears about being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there again, most likely with our ideas, and trust and hope and dream that we will be embraced. We will be acknowledged, and we will be loved, you know, again, because as this is to be in the mental phase, and like kind of sharing our ideas and like who we are. This card doesn't necessarily mean finding your soulmate type of card. It could. We'll see. But I think it is more about embracing ourselves and being who we ought to be for ourselves, and showing up for ourselves, putting ourselves out there. You got to, right? That's how we grow. And then finally, we'll be able to come together, and maybe that is what is happening here, is because this bird is actually speaking, that this bird is sharing their ideas. So by the end of this week, whatever you have been holding on to, afraid to share with others, this week is inviting you to open yourself up and let it come to your friends and family members, and share it with those that you trust, birds of a feather and trusted confidants. They've got your back. Okay. So whatever you're holding on to, it's time to let it go. It's time to share and move forward. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonates with you this week. I would really love it if you could put some comments below or over on TikTok or Instagram, and let me know how this week goes for you. How did this resonate with you? Um, how do you like my readings? How do you like the method that I use? I would love to hear any kind of feedback. It would be great. I really appreciate and love all of you radiant spirits out there. We're all birds of a feather, right? We are all one and the same in our own unique ways. And I just wish you a magical week. Blessings.